Welcome to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise, get you those important nuggets of insight. And today, wow, we're plunging into medicine. It feels like it's standing at this historic crossroads. For centuries, right, it's been this mix of art, human intuition.
Absolutely, demanding incredible endurance from doctors, nurses, everyone involved.
Exactly. But now there's this new player, tireless, right? Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, AI. And it's not science fiction anymore.
Not at all. It's here. It's being deployed, at scale, moving from the lab right to the patient's bedside. And the scale we're talking about, it's not just growth. It's like an explosion.
It really is. The numbers are staggering.
This year, the global AI in healthcare market, valued at what, USD 29 billion?
Around there.
Projected to soar past USD 504 billion by 2032. That's a compound annual growth rate of 44%.
Mind-boggling, isn't it?
Truly. And nearly half of that action, 49% or so, is happening right here in North America.
Right, driven by, our infrastructure, how quickly we tend to adopt new tech.
So what's actually making this possible? What's the tech underneath it all?
Okay, yeah, good question. There are a few core pillars, really. First up is machine learning, ML. Think of this as the engine, right? It's brilliant at pattern recognition, analyzing incredibly complex medical images, data sets.
Stuff humans would take ages to do, or maybe even miss.
Exactly, with superhuman speed and, sometimes even superior accuracy. ADOC system for radiology scans, that's a prime example.
Okay, ML is the pattern spotter. What else?
Then you've got natural language processing, NLP. This is crucial. It's the bridge between, human language, spoken words, notes, and structured data that computers can work with.
So it understands conversations, doctor-patient talks, notes.
Precisely. Transcribing, pulling insights from electronic health records. Companies like Abridge and Suki are big here. It makes sense of the narrative.
Got it. And the third one, you mentioned it was disruptive.
Yes, generative AI. This is the newest piece and maybe the most game-changing right now. It doesn't just analyze, it creates.
Creates what? Like new information?
Yeah, novel content. Drafting clinical summaries, maybe generating hypotheses for new drugs, personalizing how we talk to patients. Pieces is a company doing this with clinical notes.
Okay, so ML, NLP, generative AI, those are the foundations. So our mission today, for you listening, is to explore some of these leading AI solutions. We've picked around 30 that are really tackling healthcare's biggest headaches. We want to get past the hype, understand how they're, cutting down paperwork.
Which is huge for clinicians.
Definitely. Boosting diagnostic accuracy, personalizing medicine, automating hospital stuff, basically making the system more efficient, more effective.
And hopefully more humane, ultimately.
Right. By the end, you should have a much clearer picture of what's really making a difference out there. Okay, let's dive into the first big area, diagnostics. How AI is fundamentally reshaping how we detect diseases. Just imagine being a radiologist. The sheer volume.
Yeah.
Reviewing an image every, 3 or 4 seconds.
It's relentless. And that pace, it leads to burnout and, potential error. It's unavoidable.
So AI steps in here as a kind of tireless assistant. A second pair of eyes.
Exactly. A second opinion that's always vigilant. It augments the human expert, flags those subtle things that might get missed, speeds things up. It's really about empowering clinicians, not replacing them. That's key.
Makes sense. So where are we seeing the biggest impact right now?
Well, the most mature area, without a doubt, is medical imaging. It's where AI cut its teeth, really. Take ADOC and their iOS platform. Think of it like an AI operating system for imaging.
An operating system. How does that work?
It runs quietly in the background, analyzing scans as they come through, looking for urgent things like pulmonary embolisms, strokes, brain bleeds.
Things where time is absolutely critical.
Critical. And ADOC's impact isn't just theoretical. They've got over 20 FDA clearances, which is market leading, including one for a foundational model, Cara1. That builds trust.
Okay, regulatory nods are important, but what about actual results?
That's where it gets compelling. They've shown a 34% reduction in door-to-puncture time for stroke. That's saving 38 minutes on average.
38 minutes for a stroke patient?
It's huge.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
And 31% faster notification for pulmonary embolism. Plus, at places like Sheba Medical Center, they saw a 30% drop in mortality for intracranial hemorrhage. And importantly, their OS approach helps fight that algorithm fatigue you mentioned.
Right, that feeling of being overwhelmed by too many separate tools.
Exactly. They unify results from different AI vendors into one interface, streamlines the workflow.
That integration piece seems vital. Speaking of time-sensitive stuff, Viz.ai comes to mind. They were early pioneers in coordinating care, weren't they?
They absolutely were. Their Viz.ai One platform is a leader in care coordination, especially for LVO strokes, large vessel occlusions. It detects the issue on the scan and immediately alerts the entire stroke team on their phones.
So everyone's on the same page instantly.
Instantly. And the results back it up. A 31-minute average cut in overall treatment time. 37 minutes shaved off transfer times between hospitals.
Wow.
And for the patient, maybe most importantly, 44% faster contact with the specialist surgeon who can actually intervene. That kind of speed has to make a difference. Are they widely used?
Over 1,700 hospitals. So yes, significant adoption. And there's an economic argument, too, shifting reimbursement by getting patients to the right care faster.
Okay, so ADOC integrates, Viz.ai coordinates. What about just pure diagnostic power?
Yeah.
Catching more things.
For sheer breadth, Analyse.ai is pretty remarkable. Their enterprise CXR for chest x-rays and CTB for head CTs. They detect an incredible number of findings, over 124 on chest x-rays, 130 plus on non-contrast head CTs.
124 findings from one X-ray read. How's that possible?
It's their comprehensive sort of one-solution approach. A major study in Lancet Digital Health showed their chest X-ray AI was actually more accurate than radiologists working alone for 94% of findings.
More accurate.
Yeah, and when used with radiologists, it significantly boosted accuracy for over 100 findings.
How did they achieve that level of performance?
A massive amount of high-quality training data. They used over 280 million detailed manual annotations done by actual radiologists. Not just relying on less reliable text report labels, that data quality is key.
Data quality matters. Makes sense. And Choir.ai. They seem to have a strong global health focus.
They do, especially with tuberculosis screening using their QXR technology. They're in over 100 countries, impacted something like 32 million lives.
TB screening. That's vital in many parts of the world.
Absolutely. The WHO evaluated them for TB screening. They found it increased incidental TB detection by 29%. Their accuracy is high across the board, really. 95, 100% sensitivity for malignant lung nodules. And their QER product got the first 4-in-1 FDA clearance for head scans, bleeds, mass effect, midline shift, fractures, all critical findings.
So AI isn't just about finding the obvious problem. It's also enabling more proactive care, right? Catching things earlier.
Exactly. Moving from reactive to proactive clearly is a fantastic example in heart care.
Ah, yes, the plaque analysis.
Right. They don't just look at how narrow an artery is on a cardiac CT scan, a CCTA. They use AI to quantify and characterize the plaque itself, the atherosclerosis.
So it's not just about blockage, but the risk from the plaque type.
Precisely. It assesses a patient's true heart attack risk based on the plaque burden and type. It's a paradigm shift.
Has it been validated against other methods?
Yeah, the Credence trial showed it had higher diagnostic accuracy than FFRCT, which measures blood flow restriction, and traditional stress tests. And maybe even more importantly, an analysis of the Pacific trial showed clearly was the only non-invasive test that could predict future major adverse cardiac events, or MACI things like heart attacks or strokes.
So it's actually predicting future events. That's powerful.
It's about getting ahead of the problem. Prevention.
And speaking of prevention, Medtronic has that GI Genius for colonoscopies.
Yes, the first FDA-approved AI for colonoscopy. It works in real time during the procedure.
What does it do? Just highlight things.
It processes the video feed and highlights suspicious polyps that the endoscopist might otherwise miss.
And does it work? Does it find more polyps?
Significantly more. A major trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed a 14% absolute increase in the adenoma detection rate, the ADR.
And ADR is a key quality metric.
Hugely important. Every 1% increase in ADR corresponds to about a 3% decrease in the risk of interval colorectal cancer diagnosed between screenings, and a 5% decrease in the risk of fatal colorectal cancer.
So finding more adenomas directly translates to saving lives.
Absolutely. This study also found it cut the number of missed adenomas nearly in half, a huge step for cancer prevention.
Okay, so imaging is massive. What about looking at tissue samples? Pathology.
Another area where AI is making big strides. Digitizing the microscope, essentially. PathAI is a leader here with their AI site platform. It's an enterprise solution helping pathologists analyze tissue samples, diagnosing cancer, grading it, quantifying biomarkers.
Biomarkers are key for targeted therapies, aren't they?
Exactly, and PathAI is deeply integrated with, I think, the top 15 biopharma companies. They use it to accelerate clinical trials for new cancer drugs.
So it helps speed up drug development, too.
It does, and studies show it helps pathologists. One study on their AIM-AIR-HER2 algorithm, which assesses a breast cancer biomarker, improved pathologist accuracy, and, importantly, consistency inter-observer agreement, makes diagnoses more reliable.
That consistency is crucial. Okay, we've talked labs, hospitals. What about bringing diagnostics right to the bedside, or even outside the clinic?
Yeah, democratizing diagnostics. Point-of-care AI.
Yeah.
Butterfly Network's IQ3 is a prime example.
That's the handheld ultrasound, right? Plugs into a phone.
Exactly. A whole-body ultrasound probe using their ultrasound-on-chip tech connects to a smartphone or tablet.
That sounds incredibly accessible. What's the cost like?
Under $2,000. It's radical accessibility. High-quality ultrasound in the ER, primary care clinics, rural settings. It's even been used in space to monitor astronauts.
Wow. Bet it can do whole body with one probe.
Yeah, over 20 clinical presets. Versatile. And studies show its diagnostic accuracy is comparable to the big, expensive cart-based machines, sometimes even better than a stethoscope for certain checks.
Amazing. And then there's Caption Health, helping non-specialists do heart scans.
Right, Caption AI. It's FDA-cleared software that gives real-time guidance.
Guidance how? Like tells you where to put the probe.
Exactly, step-by-step instructions. It enables nurses or other clinicians with no prior ultrasound experience to capture diagnostic quality cardiac images.
No prior experience, really?
A clinical study showed nurses got diagnostic quality images 98.8% of the time using the guidance. It's incredible. It actually got de novo FDA authorization, creating a whole new regulatory category for this kind of AI guidance.
And does it interpret the images too?
It provides an automated interpretation, calculating things like the left ventricular ejection fraction, LVEF, which is a key measure of heart function.
So it empowers more people to perform these crucial tests.
Exactly, widens the net for early detection. So just to wrap up this section on diagnostics, there are kind of two big shifts happening. First, we're moving from lots of standalone individual AI algorithms to these integrated enterprise-wide platforms.
Like the ADOC OS idea, tackling that algorithm fatigue.
Precisely. Hospitals were drowning in disconnected tools. Now, the advantage goes to companies offering unified systems that actually streamline the workflow. It's about integration.
Okay, integration is shift one. What's the second?
The second big shift is from reactive to proactive care. AI, running quietly in the background, can spot things opportunistically. Findings unrelated to why the scan was ordered in the first place.
Like finding a fracture on a chest x-ray done for a cough.
Exactly. Or spotting calcium in heart arteries on an abdominal CT looking for something else entirely. It transforms these routine procedures into potential screening opportunities, catching diseases much earlier, often before symptoms even appear. That adds immense value to every single scan performed.
That proactive potential is really exciting. Okay, let's change gears. Let's talk about drug discovery and precision treatment, because traditional drug development, man, it's tough. Takes over a decade, billions of dollars.
And the failure rate is notoriously high, only about 40% success even in phase I trials.
Right. But AI seems to be flipping the script, compressing timelines, making it more predictive.
Definitely. And the results are starting to show. Some reports suggest AI-developed drugs have an 80–90% success rate in phase I.
80 to 90%. That's double the traditional rate or more.
It's a profound difference. It suggests AI is much better at picking winners early on.
So how is it doing that? How is AI, mapping the building blocks of life?
Well, you have to start with maybe one of the biggest scientific breakthroughs this century. AlphaFold from Google DeepMind and Isomorphic Labs.
Ah, the protein folding thing.
Exactly. It basically solved the 50-year-old challenge of predicting the 3D structure of proteins from their amino acid sequence.
And why is the 3D shape so important?
Because a protein's function is determined by its shape. And for drug discovery, you need to know the shape of a target protein to design a drug molecule that will bind to it effectively.
So AlphaFold unlocks drug targets.
Thousands of them. It's predicted the structures of over 200 million proteins, basically all known proteins, and made the data public.
Publicly available.
Yes. Democratizing structural biology. It's estimated this has saved researchers maybe 1 billion years of cumulative research time. It's a fundamental paradigm shift.
1 billion research years.
Yeah.
Incredible. And Isomorphic Labs is commercializing this.
Right. They've already signed multi-billion-dollar deals with pharma giants like Eli Lilly and Novartis.
Yeah.
Shows the immense perceived value.
Okay, AlphaFold is foundational. What about companies building platforms on these ideas? like Recursion Pharmaceuticals. They call themselves Tech Bio.
Yeah, Recursion OS, they're focused on industrializing drug discovery. They combine robotics and automation in the wet lab.
Wet lab meaning actual biological experiment.
Exactly. They run up to 2.2 million experiments per week. Then they feed that massive amount of biological data into their machine learning models in the dry lab.
So they generate their own data.
At huge scale. That's their edge. High quality, AI-ready data that they control. It creates this powerful feedback loop.
And is it leading to actual drugs?
Yes, they have a real clinical pipeline. Drugs discovered internally, like REC-1245 for solid tumors, REC-617 for ovarian cancer, are already in human trials. Plus, major partnerships with Roche and Bayer provide strong validation.
So they bridge the gap between biology and computation. What about in silico medicine? They focus on generative AI, right?
Right, Pharma.ai. They're pioneers in using generative AI across the entire drug discovery process, end to end.
End to end, from finding a target to designing the molecule.
Yep. And they have a major milestone. The first drug that was both discovered and designed using generative AI to reach phase 2 trials. That's rentasertib for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis.
Discovered and designed by AI. How fast did that happen?
From identifying the target protein to starting phase I trials under 30 months at a fraction of the usual cost.
Less than 2.5 years. That's incredibly fast.
It really is. They also used AI to find a hit compound for liver cancer in just 30 days, needing to synthesize and test only 7 compounds. Shows the power of AI prediction.
That efficiency is remarkable. Now, data is key, but sharing sensitive patient data is tricky. How does Oken handle that?
They use a clever approach called federated learning.
Federated learning. How does that work?
They train their AI models on data from lots of different hospitals in their network, but the raw patient data never leaves the hospital's local servers.
So the data stays put, stays private and secure, compliant with HIPAA, GDPR.
Exactly. It elegantly solves the data sharing and privacy challenge. This lets them build really powerful predictive models on diverse distributed data sets without compromising confidentiality.
Smart. What kind of projects are they working on?
They're building things like Mosaic, these comprehensive multimodal cancer atlases, integrating genomic data, imaging data, clinical data. And they got a huge $180 million investment from Sanofi, which is strong validation.
Okay, so AI is finding new drugs faster. What about making existing treatments more precise? Personalizing cancer care?
That's where companies like Tempus come in. They're a leader in AI-enabled precision medicine, especially in oncology. Their whole operation is built on one of the world's largest libraries of de-identified clinical and molecular data.
How big are we talking?
Around 8 million de-identified research records. And they work with over half the oncologists in the U.S. The scale is just massive.
What do they offer oncologists?
An integrated platform. Genomic testing to understand the tumor's mutations, AI algorithms to predict how a patient might respond to certain treatments, and even a service to match patients to clinical trials much faster.
So they connect the dots, the patient's data, potential treatments, trials.
Right. Their time trial program can get trial sites up and running in as little as 10 days, and they partner with almost all the major oncology drug companies. They're central to making precision oncology work in practice.
And what about detecting cancer earlier? That's still a huge challenge.
A huge challenge. Freenome is tackling that head-on. They're developing multi-omic blood tests for early cancer detection, starting with colorectal cancer, CRC.
Multionic, meaning they look at multiple types of biological signals.
Exactly. Genomics, epigenomics, proteomics, analyzing signals from DNA, RNA, proteins in the blood to catch cancer early.
Is it accurate? Early detection tests need to be really reliable.
They're committed to rigorous validation. Their pre-MPT CRC study enrolled over 40,000 participants. Published results showed strong performance, 79% sensitivity for detecting CRC, with 91.5% specificity for advanced neoplasia, which includes precancerous polyps.
That sounds promising. Are they close to market?
They have a commercialization deal with Exact Sciences and have submitted their application to the FDA. So yes, moving towards clinical use. So stepping back again, looking at drug discovery and precision medicine, two big shifts stand out. First is the rise of these tech bio companies we talked about, like Recursion and Silico.
The ones combining the wet lab and the dry lab.
Right. They're not just software companies. They vertically integrate the biology experiments with the computation. This creates this proprietary, self-improving feedback loop. It lets them discover things at a speed and scale that was unimaginable before.
Okay, tech bio is one shift. What's the other?
It's about transforming the economic model of drug R&D, moving away from these incredibly expensive high-risk bets towards more data-driven prediction.
So AI de-risks the process, helps pick winners earlier.
Exactly. Remember that doubled success rate in early trials. That drastically cuts down on costly late-stage failures, which is where most of the money gets spent. Platforms like Alkins can predict target success much more effectively. It makes R&D faster, cheaper, and more likely to succeed.
Which could even open up research into rarer diseases.
Potentially, yes. If the risk and cost come down, areas previously deemed too risky might become viable.
Fascinating. Okay, let's pivot one more time. Let's talk about the operational side, the day-to-day grind of healthcare. Because AI is having a really immediate, profound impact there too, right? Tackling those persistent pain points.
Absolutely. Two huge ones. The crushing administrative burden on clinicians and the often, let's face it, frustrating patient experience.
Yeah, that admin burden is brutal. Doctors spending more time on paperwork than with patients.
It's a major driver of burnout. For every hour with a patient, often 2 hours on documentation, over 60% of physicians report burnout symptoms.
So AI is trying to achieve the end of clinical paperwork.
Well, that's the goal for many of these tools.
Yeah.
AI scribes are leading the charge.
Like a bridge. I've heard a lot about them.
Yeah, Abridge is a great example. It's an ambient AI platform. It just listens in the background during a doctor-patient visit.
Listens to the conversation.
Right. And automatically generates a structured clinical note ready to go into the EHR, like Epic.
Automatically generates the note. How much time does that save?
The numbers are pretty stunning. Clinicians report saving 70+ hours per month on documentation. That's like a 90% reduction for many.
70 hours a month? That's almost 2 work weeks back.
Exactly. It directly tackles burnout. Major health systems like Yale New Haven are adopting it rapidly. Their recent $150 million funding round shows the perceived value. And it improves note quality, too, which helps with accurate billing.
Amazing. What about Suki? They're also in this space, right?
Yes, Suki is an AI-powered, voice-enabled digital assistant. It helps with documentation, but also coding and other admin tasks.
Does it also show impact on burnout?
It does. A study found a 72% reduction in the median time spent per note, and users reported a 60% decrease in burnout symptoms.
A 60% drop in burnout. That's significant.
Hugely. And like Abridge, it also improved note quality, leading to more accurate coding and better reimbursement for the practice or hospital.
And Khmer, they have Scribe. What's their angle?
Similar concept, capturing the conversation, creating structured notes, suggesting codes. They tout really fast chart closing times, average of 43 seconds, and 91% of their users report feeling less fatigued.
Less fatigue.
Yeah.
That's a direct well-being measure.
Right. And they also highlight their multilingual capability, handling conversations in Mandarin, Cantonese, Spanish, and generating accurate English notes. That's a big deal in diverse communities.
Definitely needed. And Pieces. They seem focused on summarizing.
Pieces uses generative AI to draft, chart, and summarize notes. A key feature is their working summary.
What's a working summary?
It's a dynamic summary that constantly updates with the latest info from the EHR. So for complex cases, clinicians get an up-to-date overview without digging through the whole chart. Saves time, reduces cognitive load.
That sounds incredibly useful for complex hospital stays.
Yeah, and they also focus on operational value, identifying barriers to discharging patients sooner, optimizing notes for billing. It connects clinical documentation to financial outcomes.
Okay, so AI scribes are tackling the doctor's paperwork. What about interacting with patients directly? The digital front door.
Right. The rise of virtual health assistants, tools offering 24/7 access, helping triage symptoms, automating routine stuff like scheduling.
Like K-Health, the symptom checker app.
Exactly. K-Health uses AI to compare your symptoms against millions of anonymized medical records. It gives you information and connects you to virtual care.
How accurate are these symptom checkers? Can you trust them?
Well, K-Health has clinical validation. A study with Cedars-Sinai was interesting when the AI and physicians disagreed on the next steps.
Yeah. Who was right more often?
The AI's guidance was found to be superior almost twice as often. And the AI made potentially harmful recommendations less frequently, too.
Wow. So it's actually pretty good for common conditions.
It seems so. Its data-driven approach, learning from real clinical encounters, helps it perform really well, makes basic care more accessible.
What about Ada Health? They're another popular one.
Ada Health is consistently ranked highly for accuracy and safety in independent studies. One study found it was the top performer among 8 symptom checkers, getting the likely conditions right almost as often as GPs. Its triage advice, like whether you need to see a doctor urgently, was deemed safe 97% of the
So
time.
safety is paramount there. 97% is reassuring.
And it covers a huge range of conditions, 99% coverage, very comprehensive.
Okay, those are patient-facing apps. What about automating communication from the clinic to the patient? Reminders, scheduling.
That's where tools like Televox's Smart Agent come in. It's an AI virtual agent handling routine communications.
It's like appointment reminders, billing questions.
Exactly. Via text, email, phone, scheduling, billing, prescription refills, all the routine stuff.
Does it actually save money or time?
Definitely. Their automated reminders lead to about a 30% reduction in patient no-shows. That recovers lost revenue and frees up staff time for more complex patient needs. Clear ROI.
30% fewer no-shows is significant. And Artera, formerly Well Health, they seem to cover the whole patient journey.
They do. Artera is a comprehensive AI platform using conversational messaging to automate communication throughout the patient's entire experience.
And the results?
Pretty impressive. One heart center cut no-shows by 50% and saved 1,600 staff hours a year. And pain clinics saw inbound calls drop by nearly 30%. Their virtual agents handle something like 42 million patient sessions annually, and 94% are completed without needing a human to step in.
94% automated successfully. That's huge efficiency.
Massive. It makes interactions seamless for patients and frees up staff.
Okay, so we've got documentation, patient interaction. What about optimizing the hospital itself, the system level?
Right. Optimizing the intelligent hospital. This involves pulling together data and managing resources better. Innovaxer's Health Cloud is a good example. It's a data activation platform.
What does data activation mean?
It means pulling patient data from all the different disconnected sources, the EHR, insurance claims, pharmacy records, lab results, and unifying it into a single longitudinal patient record, breaking down the data silos.
So everyone looking at the patient sees the same complete picture.
Exactly. And this foundation delivers real ROI. One case study showed they cut hospital readmissions from 15% down to 5.6% in just 5 months.
Wow, that's a huge drop in readmissions.
Yeah, projected annual savings of over $400,000, a 5x ROI. Solving that data silo problem is fundamental for almost any other AI application to work effectively.
Makes sense. You need good data first. What about managing physical resources like operating rooms?
That's where Liantis and their IQ platform excel. They use AI to optimize hospital capacity, especially for high-value assets like ORs and infusion centers.
Those are always bottlenecks, right?
Right.
Scheduling nightmares.
Often, yes. Liantis helps hospitals maximize the use of these critical, expensive resources. Clients typically see an increase of 1 to 2 extra surgical cases per OR per month. Prime time utilization goes up. Staff overtime goes down significantly, like 25%.
So better efficiency, lower costs, more patients treated.
And interestingly, it also increases surgeon satisfaction because the scheduling is transparent and data-driven, not just based on guesswork or historical patterns, builds trust.
And then there's the money side, billing, claims, the revenue cycle. AI must be involved there too.
Heavily. Waystar offers a comprehensive AI-powered platform for revenue cycle management. They actually incorporated technology from all of AI. It automates billing, prior authorizations, claims processing, denial prevention, the whole financial workflow.
Does it make a difference to the bottom line?
A significant one. Reported results include things like a 30% drop in claim denials, 25% fewer billing errors, and cutting the time it takes to get paid by 50%. For hospitals operating on thin margins, optimizing the revenue cycle is absolutely critical for financial health. AI provides the tools to do that effectively.
Okay, one last area in operations. Proactive monitoring and remote care. Keeping patients safe, even outside the hospital.
Yes, really important. Bayesian Health has TreatWS-targeted real-time early warning system.
An early warning system. For what?
It integrates with the EMR, the electronic medical record, to detect signs of serious complications like sepsis much earlier than traditional methods.
Sepsis is a huge killer. How does TreatWS work differently?
It's designed to think more like a clinician. It analyzes multiple data points together, looking for subtle patterns of deterioration rather than just triggering on single abnormal vital signs. This generates more reliable alerts and reduces that alert fatigue for nurses and doctors. They pay more attention because the alerts are more meaningful.
Smarter alerts, basically. What about HREX?
Atrix VC is another FDA-approved AI system. It monitors real-time patient data in the EHR to identify patients at risk of becoming critically ill. It provides this dashboard showing trends in vital signs, lab results, allowing clinicians to intervene proactively before a patient crashes. Focus is on predicting and preventing critical deterioration.
And Bioformis takes this outside the hospital walls, remote monitoring.
Exactly. Bioformis has a sophisticated platform using AI and wearable biosensors to monitor patients at home, predicting clinical deterioration before it becomes an emergency.
Wearable sensors feeding data to an AI. Does it prevent readmissions?
The results are strong. They've shown up to a 70% reduction in 30-day hospital readmissions for monitored patients, and up to 38% reduction in the overall cost of care.
70% fewer readmissions. That's huge for patients in hospitals.
And their AI often detects deterioration about 21 hours sooner than standard care. That's a critical window for intervention. They have FDA clearance and breakthrough device designation for their heart failure product.
So wrapping up this whole administrative and operational side, what's the bigger story?
Well, two things stand out, echoing our earlier points. Initially, admin AI was often framed purely around cost-cutting, efficiency. But now, the narrative has shifted significantly towards reducing physician burnout.
Because burnout is such a crisis.
It's a massive crisis, affecting over 60%, maybe 63% of physicians. And replacing just one physician can cost a hospital up to $800,000.
Wow, didn't realize it was that high.
So AI scribes, tools that give doctors back hours in their day. They're not just efficiency tools, they're strategic imperatives for retaining staff and ensuring financial stability. A 40% drop in burnout, like Abridge users reported, that's a huge financial lever.
So burnout reduction is key takeaway one. What's the second?
The second is that the digital front door is now a competitive battleground. Patients expect seamless, easy, on-demand interactions with healthcare, just like they get everywhere else.
Like ordering groceries or banking online.
Exactly. Reports show a majority, maybe 63%, would actually switch providers because of bad communication. Almost half avoid making appointments because the process is frustrating.
So a good digital experience isn't a nice-to-have anymore.
It's a competitive necessity. These AI-powered platforms offering 24/7 access, automated scheduling, easy communication. They're crucial for meeting patient expectations and keeping them loyal in a marketplace where they have choices.
Okay, so across diagnostics, drug discovery, and operations, AI is clearly delivering real, measurable value. We're seeing this shift to integrated platforms, this move from reactive to proactive care, the rise of tech bio, and this dual focus on clinician well-being and patient experience through that digital front door. It's a lot.
It is a lot, and it's important to remember this transformation isn't, without its challenges or nuances.
Right. It's not all smooth sailing. What are some of those hurdles?
Well, one subtle but important one is the potential de-skilling dilemma.
De-skilling, meaning doctors might lose skills if they rely too much on AI.
Potentially, yeah.
Right.
Could over-reliance on AI tools, say for reading scans or spotting polyps, subtly dull a clinician's own standalone diagnostic skills over time? Some studies, like one on AI and colonoscopy, have raised this possibility.
That's a tricky balance.
It really is. It just underscores how critical thoughtful implementation is. AI needs to be positioned as a tool for augmentation, enhancing human skills, not just replacing them. And continuous training is vital.
So augmentation, not replacement. What's another big challenge?
The perennial one, data privacy and security. This is crucial for you, for everyone listening. These AI models are incredibly powerful because they learn from vast amounts of sensitive patient data.
Which needs to be protected rigorously.
Absolutely. Unwavering adherence to robust security protocols, strict compliance with regulations like HIPAA here, GDPR in Europe. It's non-negotiable. Maintaining patient trust is the absolute bedrock. If that erodes, none of this works.
Trust is everything in healthcare.
Yeah.
So challenges remain, but the trajectory seems clear. It feels like the future isn't really about human versus machine, is it?
Not at all. It's about symbiosis, a powerful, elegant partnership. Imagine that system where AI does what it does best, analyzes enormous data sets, spots those complex patterns, handles the repetitive admin work.
Freeing up the humans.
Exactly. Freeing up clinicians to focus on the uniquely human parts of medicine, the complex judgments, the scientific curiosity, the innovation, and maybe most importantly, the empathy, the communication, the human connection. Those things AI can't replicate. That connection is at the heart of healing.
Right. The art of medicine remains perhaps even enhanced. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to think about, provocative thought maybe. As AI takes on more of the routine tasks, more of the complex data crunching, what new frontiers does that open up for human ingenuity and compassion in medicine? What new aspects of healing might emerge when clinicians are truly freed up to focus on what only humans can provide? Something to ponder.